Master Grade. First introduced in 1995 and still strong today. Master Grade is my favorite line of Gunpla and the go-to line for many of you fellow hobbyists too, right? Salutations fellow hobbyists and welcome to the Toyama23 hobby channel, and welcome to a new video where I talk about each Gunpla main grades and count down why we love them so much, essentially the pros, and follow up with a cons video with how to remedy them. Not everything I mention is exclusive to Master Grade, but these are essentially the elements that make the Master Grade experience. Now let's begin our top 10 reasons to be interested in Master Grade. Number 10. The Master Grade factor. Whenever a new Gundam design debuts, generally every Gunpla hobbyist will think, what a cool design. No, actually we're thinking, that doesn't look like a Gundam. Right? I'm kidding. Anyways, the next thought will be, what will that Gundam be like in Master Grade? We don't think of high grade because we know it will get a high grade. Even when a certain series does not do well, G-Reco, we still want a Master Grade of the main mobile suit, namely the G-Cell, don't we? Why, you ask? It's just the Master Grade factor. I don't know what it is. Even if we are not interested to get it, we will keep wishing Bandai comes up with a Master Grade of said design, because Master Grade. Number 9. Box art. Many of you guys bought a Master Grade just cause you thought the box art is awesome, right? Comment hashtag Toyama23 below and name that Master Grade. I want to know which box art caught your eye and make you make that impulsive decision. The box art are really what catches our eyes, and Bandai puts a lot of effort into making sure the box art pops and screams at you when you look at them. Newer kits, of course. Older ones are cool, you get that retro vibe from them. I have to give them credit for making sure the featured mobile suit is the kit. Yeah, they exaggerate a little, like extra lighting, particle effects, shines, and even articulation at times, but it's still the kit, not an anime version, like many high-grade boxes, For example, it's here, it's the kit itself. Yeah, the box art is so awesome, many of us have a hard time getting rid of them, right? I have a solution though. Watch my box resize video. Number 8. Pilot figures. A little 1/100 figure of any character is vastly appreciated, and all the details that goes into them. Often, you'll get more than one figure with a Master Grade, one for putting in the mobile suit and another to put before it to show you just how large these mechs are in real life. Well, if you stand in front of them, gives us some perspective. They could just give us a pilot figure that sits in the mobile suit, but an extra figures. It's just extra frosting on a cake. What's cool is that recently Bandai has made these figures even more elaborate with the way they pose. Even when they are a pain to paint, we still love them. They really do add to the heart of the kit. Number 7. Decals. If decals your thing, they're extra stickers. Not compulsory, but they really add to the kit, making them pop even more. And at times, a touch of your own signature. For me, I'm not overly big on them. If they're not in the anime, I usually don't bother. Actually, I save them for later when I'm in the mood for applying just decals. Master Grade often comes with decals for them. Always sticker decals, occasionally dry transfer, and water slide decals often with the Verka kits. Number 6. The option to customize. Allow me to explain. I know all model kits have this option, but with Master Grade, everything is molded in the right color. About 95%. There is no need to paint. Just cut, sand down, snap together, and you have a nice kit. And even when there are stickers for color correcting, it's usually minimal. Usually. Always great looking when it's completed. So I don't have to focus on painting the entire thing. Just snap build and pen align. Making customizing an option, not a must. Enjoying the video so far? If you haven't, please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. It is a huge help for me. And if you did that, thank you so much. And if you're like me trying to grow a YouTube channel, the one tool I use is a browser extension called tubebuddy. Try it out with my affiliate link below. It's free. Getting 1,000 subs was a grind at first, but with tubebuddy I find it manageable because of the app that helps me set reasonable goals. With that said, let's move to number 5, the inner frame. Master grades are about 18 centimeters tall on average, but picking one up, you can feel it's got some weight to it and substance that's partially thanks to the inner frame. Yes, some high grades have them, and most real grades and perfect grade have them too, and some master grade don't have a full inner frame, but when they have good inner frames, they have details that you can paint onto them, like little pistons and gears, details on the cockpit. I recommend a silver, gray, and gold markers to just highlight those details. I know many hobbyists who paint those full inner frames, and it is gorgeous. The great thing about having details on inner frames, when you do a battle damage diorama, it's a nice way to show them off. And often putting together the inner frames, you get this feeling that you're not building a toy, it's a machine. Number 4, details. When it comes to master grade, Bandai likes to take some liberties and pepper on more details. Extra pen lines and gimmicks to the kit. Even the proportions. Only some kits are anime accurate, and those details are much appreciated. I always look forward to seeing the engineering that went into a kit. Yeah, you can make it have joints like an action figure, but they go beyond and meticulously make some parts shift and move in tandem like the knee shifting gimmick. Sometimes, even little details like a Z on the Zeta Gundam's head is just phenomenal. Number 3, the instruction manual. When you get a high grade, usually it's a piece of paper folded up, but here it's a book, a mini magazine with some colored pages and artwork. Newer kits have English text to them, finally. Comparing these two, you just feel like you have something premium here. And I find it easier to build with the instructions as a book, as I wrestle a bit when it's a high grade manual. And the other thing that's cool, I find that some older master grade have manuals that look like top secret documents, you know. Number 2, the size. 144 scale kits are cool, but a little on the cute side for me, because you know I'm a big dude. But when they're 1/100 scale, you can feel its presence. I think they're a good size. Also, for the price you pay for them, in my opinion, it's a good size. Granted, some of them are on the ridiculously big size, like the new Gundam and Sazabi. So big, it's awesome. Wow. Of course, perfect grade is bigger. But those are like centerpieces that I can't afford, you know? Speaking of the size, I like to address something. Some high grades or real grades armors should be thinner, but they make it thick for integrity's sake. It might crack if it's too thin, you see. I get it, but in my eyes it can look goofy. But I don't have that problem with master grades. I find the proportions more pleasing and uniform to the entire kit. Number 1, Cockpit. I am obsessed with this gimmick, cause they don't always show where the cockpit is, and every mobile suit is different. As a kid, I used to argue the location of the cockpit with my friends, cause it was a time with no internet, you can't just Google it. Anyway, not only is there a cockpit, but there are well made. Yeah, some are not anime accurate like the Barbatos, but to see a pilot in there with all the details added adds a layer to the kit, adds to the lore. Like Benager sits in a pilot seat, like in the anime, covered by Psycho Frame. The Zaku 2.0 has this. Wow! And the RX-78-2 Origin version does not have a core fighter. Little details that recreate scenes from the anime. This takes it to a master level, so to speak. It's not just the cockpit, but the functioning hatches that makes it work. Like this guy. It's not just a hole that they open and say, there is a pilot in there. No, it does this too. You can see the effort added into it. It's not just shoehorned in. Feels more complete. I used to buy a high grade hoping they have a cockpit gimmick. How silly of me. It starts with master grade. All master grade comes with a cockpit gimmick, and rarely do they not have it. I know not everybody fancies this gimmick, but this is my number one reason why I love master grade so much. Real grade has cockpit, but no pilot that seats in it. I feel strange posing a real grade in action pose knowing there are no pilots in it. Do you feel the same? Like, how is it moving without a pilot? Anyways, comment below. Fellow hobbyists, I hope you enjoyed this series. Hit that like button if you did. It helps me keep going and making more videos. And if you're new here, please subscribe and check out more Gunpla hobby related content in my channel. With that said, guys, fellow hobbyists, keep things awesome, keep the hobby going, and keep the hobbyist alive. Hi, I'm Toyama23, signing out.